So hi, so it's Ken again. It's Ken again. So today we're going to do some more Qigong. We're going to do some Qigong specifically working on this area around here. The Chinese call the Yao. Always translates as the waist, but it's more than the waist. It's this whole area between the bottom of the solar plexus and the top of the knees. Specifically, we're going to be working with the Qua and the Wei Lu here. The Qua and the Wei Lu. So the sacrum and the inguinal crease and hip area here. So we're standing in quite a narrow stance, so you have about one length of your feet in between your feet, for starters. Head is if suspended from above. Imagine we have that long ponytail on the top of the head that's tied up to the rafters. Pelvic area is tilted forwards. Feels like it's hanging down from that suspension from above. So again, we're going to be really working on this area here, this area that we call the Yao. The Yao is always translated as the waist, but it's more than the waist. The Yao is this whole area here between the bottom of the solar plexus and the top of the knees here, or just the bottom of the thighs. Okay, as always, working to your capabilities, okay? And try to follow the safety instruction I give as we go along through this. Done correctly, these set of exercises will really strengthen this whole area, especially at the lower back, and really open up what's called the Mong Men point in your lower back, or the gate of your fate to an acupressure point. Really helps to raise your vitality. Done incorrectly, you can put unnecessary pressure onto the lumbar section of the spine, the rectus spinal muscles in the lower back. Okay, so really be careful. Okay, follow the safety instructions. We're mainly going to be breathing in and out through the nose, but there will be one instance as we breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth, but I will explain that as we get to it. But I'm just starting to waffle. Let's get into this session. Okay, so standing, nice and erect. Keep a small gap underneath each armpit, as if cradling a small bird's egg or a small grape underneath each arm. Relaxing your arms down by your side with this feeling. And I just want you to breathe in through the nose, this area around here, breathing into the lower abdomen, into the lower back, breathing into this whole area around here. This area expanding with the in-breath, contracting with the out-breath. Okay, so I just want you to interlace your fingers, breathing in, stretching up, and breathing out, just lowering down. Make sure as you stretch up that you don't stick your lower ribs out or curving in the lower back. Keep the pelvic area tilted forwards. Breathing in. Stretching up. And breathing out, going down. Okay. So glide a little bit wider. About your shoulder hip distance apart. And we're going to be pivoting from the hip area here. Make sure you're not just doing this with the belly and the lower back. You're not just sticking the belly out and curving in the lower back. No, we're pivoting from the hips here. I just want you to breathe in. We're going to breathe in and in through the nose and out through the mouth in this one. So breathing in, raise your hands up and just lean backwards ever so slightly. And breathing out, lower your arms down, lean forwards. Breathing in through the nose and backwards so you're not curving in the lower back here. Breathing out through the mouth, going forwards. Just rocking here, breathing in. So you're pivoting on the hips, the ball and socket. Really feel kind of like you're throwing the sacrum area forwards here, and without curving in the lower back or flaring out the lower ribs. Breathing in. So pivoting at the hips, and breathing out. Really engaging the hips. Pivoting at the hips, but the movement is pretty much coming from your center and from the sacrum or the sacroiliac joint. So breathing in. Feet are staying flat on the floor, breathing in. Breathing in. Make sure the hips aren't excessively tensing here. So you're just pivoting there. You want freedom of movement through the hip area here. Breathing in. And breathing out. So really relaxing the hips. In a previous film I talked about the Wei Lu, which is the sacrum, the sacroiliac joint, the bottom of the spine. It joins up with the pelvis and the coccyx. This area should be yang, so substantial. And the hips, the core area here should be yin, so insubstantial. Breathing in. And breathing out. And make sure you're not curving in the lower back, you're not flaring the lower ribs out. Hips are soft, yin, and pivoting in the hips. Trying to engage your core, your deep frontal line. kind of just instinctively going to breathing in and out through the nose. Comes from my Tai Chi practice. So it doesn't matter if you do that. Okay. So bring yourself to a narrower stance, about one length of your feet in between your feet. I just want you to turn I'm turning my left toes out to the side. You can mirror me here if you want to. Turn the left toes out to the side, so add like a 45-degree angle to your right foot, and just slide drop the weight onto the left foot, or to the foot you just turned out to the side, and slide the foot forward so the heel is in line with the instep, this part, just above the arch of the foot. Okay, nice and upright. And I just want you to keep the feet flat on the floor. I just want you to incline forwards again from the hips. Inclining forwards from the hips. Make sure that the lower back doesn't curve in, the ribs don't flare out. And from the hips again, pushing the tailbone forwards and just pivot back on the hips and sit down into the posture. Sit down, so engaging your core. You should feel any pressure that you were feeling on the lower back, you should feel that release as you sit down to this posture, sitting down to the thighs. And I just want you to sink down into the legs. Sink down, looking straight down, and the knee of this front foot should be obscuring the toes. In this position should be obscuring the toes, which if you are a Tai Chi person, you'll say, no, you should be able to see the toes over, the knee shouldn't go any further forward than the toes. And this is Qigong, okay? It's not Tai Chi, this is Qigong. But be careful, of course, if you do have any problems with your knees. As always, kind of listen to your body's pain. Kind of pain, if it's not growth pain, it's kind of any other pain should be kind of paid attention to it. So it could be an indication that you're doing things incorrectly. But, muscles burning, it kind of is a growth pain. Okay, hands onto your thighs. And again, from the hips, I want you to incline forwards and the hands slide down your thighs. Make sure the lower back isn't curving in, the ribs aren't flaring out, the chest isn't sticking out, the head isn't long forward, you're not bowing the upper back. Keeping a nice straight spine until the hands are just above the knees at the bottom of the thighs here. Okay, then slide my left leg, my left hand up and put it onto the inguinal crease area here. Okay, and we're just gonna rock forwards and backwards. As you rock forwards, raise the rear heel. As you rock backwards, raise the front toe. Forwards and backwards. This is from a set of exercises called the Tai Chi ruler. Not to be confused with the Tai Chi ruler where you hold like a wooden baton in your hands. I think it's called the Tai Chi ruler because it was handed down through a royal family in China. So you don't have to you don't have to specifically coordinate your breath with this movement here. It will naturally coordinate with the movement. As you roll forwards, you raise the rear heel. As you rock backwards, you raise the front toes, rolling down the middle of the feet. Again, make sure the ribs aren't flaring out. Make sure you're not putting all the pressure onto the lower back. Sink the ribs to feel the lower back. You can feel as if you're pulling the belly towards the back. You can feel as if you're pulling the perineum ever so slightly up in between the legs, in between the genitals, mainly that Huiyin point. You can feel as if you're pulling that up ever so slightly. Not really tensing that area. So you're rocking here like a rocking chair. And keep the pelvic area tilted forward. Connect the sacrum and the sacroiliac joint to your lower dantian, that area about 3 fingers below the belly button and in the center of the body. And feel yourself rocking from there. You want to get to the point where you feel like the whole body is moving together. So it's not segmented, just moving together. It is really demanding on the legs, on the buttocks, on your core, which is good. As always, working to your capabilities. And if you really do have really major back problems here, and this is quite, I can't do that, kind of just bring yourself upright as you can. And just rock. And so this slightly inclined forwards posture, it should keep the spine nice and straight, but it really opens up the Mung Men point in the lower back, an acupressure point on the governing meridian. Really helps to open up the point and really helps to facilitate the flow of the Qi through the 2 major meridians inside the body, the Dumei and the Renwei, the governing and the conception meridian. You can hear my breath is already getting up a little bit here. Rocking. And then just let it stop. Naturally, and bring yourself to an upright position. Bring yourself up. You can change to the other side, so quite a narrow stance. Turn the other toes out to the side and slide the foot forwards. So the heel is in line with the instep. Again, feet flat on the floor, pelvic area is tilted forwards, and just incline forwards. Incline forwards, sit down, then push the tailbone forwards. Sit down to the posture. Okay, and sink down until your toes of that front foot are slightly obscured so you can't see them in this upright position. Then hands onto the thighs and kind of inclining forwards at the hips. Make sure you're not curving in the lower back, you're not sticking out the chest, not flaring out the rib, and dropping down until the fingers again are just above the knees. And you can see the toes now that you've inclined forwards. And again, be careful if you don't come to the back here. Make sure the lower back isn't curving in, the ribs aren't flaring out. The hips are soft, yin. The Wei Lu, the sacrum area, is yang. And again, just start to rock. As you just rock backwards, the front toes come up to the ground. As you rock forwards, the rear heel comes up to the ground. Just rocking, rolling down the middle of the feet. Rolling down the middle of the feet, just rocking. And again, if you say, I can't do that on my back, and it'll just damage my back, do it in an upright position. This can even be done in a chair. No, the next stage can be done in a chair. But if you can do this incline forwards, keeping the back straight so you're not hunching, the back is still straight, pelvic area is pushed forwards. You can do it in this inclined position here, and it's really good for opening up that mung member point in the lower back, really good for digestion here. Soften the hips, the quad. Did I slide the hand up onto, did I say slide the hand up onto the hip? This hand onto the hip, just rocking forwards and backwards. Raising the rear heel when going forwards, raising the front toes when going backwards. And I'm starting to sweat here. Really warm your core up so it warms the whole body up. Rocking. Taiji ruler. You can feel as if the neck's tucking against the collar of a shirt, tongue on the roof of the mouth. Rocking. And again, feel as if the whole body is rocking all together as a complete unit, so it's not segmented. You're rocking like a rocking chair here. Really demanding on the legs. Really demanding. Okay, just let it stop naturally. Bring yourself up. You change to the other side, so quite a narrow stance, about foot length in between your feet. Turn your the other toes out to the side, so the toes we started on turn out to the side, side foot forward, so the heel is in line with the instep. Again, so you don't have to do the leaning forwards here for the moment. Kind of just sit down. Again, until your knees are obscuring your toes in this upright position. Okay, really engaging your core. Really, the hips are soft. The Wei Lu, the bottom of the spine is yang. And when we say yin and yang, the very rudimentary understanding of yin and yang is hard and yin is soft. If you look at the Taiji symbol, the yin and yang symbol, just called the Taiji symbol, when the yang, the white side is at its fullest, there's a little dot of yin in it. When the yin side is at its fullest, there's a little dot of yang in it. So you never have that full 50-50 hard and soft divide. So when yang is at its fullest, you have that little bit of softness in it. When yin is at its softest, you have that little bit of yang in it. Okay? And they have all those degrees in between, because the cycle, if you could see it, the circle, if you could see it, would be constantly turning. Okay, so the Wei Lu is more yang than the hips. Okay, this time just bring your arms up in front of your navel. Arms are in front of your navel. You have about, 10 inches to a foot distance in between your fingers, so 30 centimeters, 300 millimeters. Okay, I just want you to rock forwards. Sink down, incline forwards. So again, you get that incline in the back here. Unless you do have problems with that, then you can do it in that upright position. And as you drop down forwards here, the hands drop down. Okay, and just rock forwards, then come backwards. Your hands come up, and go forwards. Breathing in, and breathing out. No, you don't have to coordinate the breath of this. Just rocking. Relax the shoulders. For those who have done Taiji ball before, it's very much like Taiji ball, but without the ball. So you can imagine you're holding onto like an energy ball in between your hands. Energy ball, and you're just turning this over, bringing it up towards you, pushing it down, away from you. Or you can do it the other way, so down. But I'm going to do it this one. So down. No, I'm going to do it down. So again, have that feeling you're pushing the tailbone forwards, keeping that arch, make sure you haven't got that arch coming into the lower back. And engaging your core. Okay. Rocking together. There's quite a bit of concentration required for this. You can tell by my speaking slowing down. A lot of connectivity here. Actually moving from your core, which really makes this quite a Qigong type exercise. And then just let it stop. And so let the momentum dissipate. Bring yourself up. Okay, so bring yourself back to the shoulder width stance. Okay, well, slightly narrower than shoulder width stance. And then kind of, again, I want you to drop the weight down. I want you to turn the other toes out to the side. So you have that 45-degree angle. Slide the foot forward so the heel is in line with the instep. Okay, also we'll pelvic area tilt forwards and just sink down, engaging your core. Make sure the lower back isn't curving in, the lower spine isn't curving backward. Sitting straight down, you're not sticking the chest out, dropping down. Just like squatting down, relaxing the hips. The Wei Lu is yang, the hips are yin. And again, you want to, if you look down, the toes should be obscured by your knee. Okay, bring your arms up, your hands up to navel height, so you have like a foot distance between the hands, 30 centimeters, 12 inches, 300 millimeters. And again, I want you to start to relax the hips and inclining forwards there. And make sure the lower back doesn't curve in. And the hands to go down ever so slightly. Okay, they go down. And then I want you to sit back and the hands come up. You go forwards, the hands go down. Sit back, the front toes come off the ground, go forwards, the rear heel comes off the ground. Make sure the lower back isn't curving in. And again, if you really have trouble with the lower back here, you say you can't do this inclining forwards, do it in an upright position. And forwards and back is rolling down the middle of the feet. Relax the shoulders. And again, there's a lot of connectivity going on here. So again, I might shut up, look here. You don't have to coordinate the breath with this. I tend to coordinate the breath with pretty much everything I do, or it naturally coordinates with everything I do. Rocking the Taiji ruler. Again, whole body moving together, rocking like a rocking chair. So if I'm not careful, my hips tense up more than my Wei Lu, and they take over and I kind of start to go into kind of elliptical type movement. Side to side. I shouldn't be doing that. I have kind of an elliptical movement here. I don't want this with the pelvic area. So really demanding on the legs. Really working with we've worked a lot on the fascia, the connective tissue, the sinew in the body in previous films. We're really trying to work with that so it's not gross muscularity. Feel that connectivity, the biotensegrity of the body, the elasticity of the sinew, the connective tissue with the bones, rather than just gross muscular effort. And you can count the repetitions of the movements you're doing here. I don't tend to count the repetitions I do them until they feel right. Let the momentum stop. Just bring yourself up, straighten the legs until they're quite straight without looking at the knees. I want you to make your hands into these beaks, okay? Touch all the fingers to the thumbs, touch the wrist into the lower back here. Shoulder width stance or thereabouts. Okay, and I just want you to start to rock forward and backwards, just like you've been doing in the previous movement, the Taiji ruler, but the feet are in the shoulder width stance. So again, make sure you're not just kind of sticking the belly out and curving in the lower back, or hunching the upper back. Moving from your center. The hips are soft, yin, the Wei Lu, sacrum, sacral joint, coccyx, yang. So more substantial than the hips. Rolling down the middle of the feet. Moving from your core. Just rocking, rolling down the middle of the feet. And just rocking. Try and get the same feeling you just had in the previous exercises when you were inclining. Yin or the qua are yin, Wei Lu is yang. Momentum stop on its own. Okay, so that really energizes your hands. The whole sequence really energizes your hands. Just rub your hands together. So your hands might be warmer than they were when you started. Some of you might have really glowing hands. Just rub your hands. Some say this is the chi energy, healing energy. I don't like to say healing, but yeah. So this energy that manifests itself in your hands has curative properties. So I feel like you're rubbing it in. Rubbing it in as hard as is comfortable for you. This is self-massage. Rubbing in as hard as is comfortable. You can feel like you're rubbing in a magic cream here, a magic liniment, magic ointment. The shoulders. Rub the shoulders and the upper back. Shoulders and the upper back. Really be mindful of where you're rubbing. Make sure your mind isn't wandering away from what we're doing here. Rub down the inside of the arms 3 times. Outside of the arms 3 times. Give the belly a good rub. Rubbing around the belly, rub the belly. Rub the belly one way, the other way. Rub the lower back. Rubbing the lower back. Belly. Down to the little crease. The buttocks. Thighs. Knees. Loving positive energy into your knees. Love your knees. The shins and the calves, the ankles, if you can get down there, and anywhere you feel needs some special attention, give it a bit of a rub. And we can finish there. So, give it a go. Follow the safety instruction on the back. Really be careful of the lower back in this one. Okay, so done correctly, it's really good for the lower back and open up the energy gate in the middle of the back there. Done incorrectly, you can put unnecessary pressure onto the lower back there, and it can exacerbate any back problems you might have. So be careful. Okay, so I'll finish there. So bye for now, and I'll see you in the next film. So bye for.